So in the previous video, we talked about a few modifiers, mostly key modifiers. In this video, we'll be creating the base body for your coffee mug. So now, the Principled BSDF is a powerful tool for creating realistic materials. It combines multiple properties like base color, roughness, metallic into one easy shader. This shader is flexible enough to create anything from plastic, metal to glass and ceramic, which you would see later on in this video. So just understand that Principled BSDF is the best and most used. I would go as far to say that it's the most used shader in Blender. It's the most used shader in Blender, and you can create anything. On default already, when you create a new material, it's going to create a Principled BSDF, so you don't have to worry about that. We'll get into the shading panel just by the end of this video, but we'll go into it proper in the next video. So remember that I mentioned that each of our models can have a different material. So just click on, you can now click on our mug. You can either come to this plus sign or just come to here and press add new material, and you have a new material. Remember that our material, the base color for the default color for the material is white, so you can still change it to green or whatever you want, or red or whatever you want. So you can see that we have two different objects, but we then have different materials on them. Just to briefly go over these three parameters, your base color is the main color of your material. It's basically the hue of what your material is. Your roughness controls how shiny your material appears, meaning a lower value would make your material look glossy and reflective, while a higher value will make your material look diffused and rougher. So that is for the roughness. If I just Ctrl Z, your metallic defines if a material behaves like a metal. Setting it to 1 makes material looks reflective, and setting it to 0 makes it look like a non-metallic material like wood or plastic. Also, one very important thing with your metallic, you either have if you want for more realistic shaders, you either have a 0 value or a 1 value. For metallic, you do not have in between for that. But for roughness, you can do 0, you can do 0.3, you can do 0.1, you can do 1, you can have anything in between. But then for your metallic, is either 0 or 1. So just have that at the back of your mind. So if you can see at 0, this looks more plastic, but once I put it at 1, sorry, metallic feel. So that's for the basic of materials in Blender. Before I end this video, if you remember these different layouts, basically UI layouts, for the shading part of this tutorial, we're going to be in the shading panel a lot more than the layouts. So now the shading panel is just going to give us a more conducive environment to create our materials. And as you can see, we have something called, this is the shader editor. Blender has a node-based material system, meaning we'll be using nodes to make our ceramic material. But we'll get into that in the next video. But for now, just know that the material system is quite easy in Blender. It's very intuitive, and you're going to have a lot of fun. See you in the next video. So we've come to the end of this class. I really hope you've enjoyed yourself. How about you try playing with the roughness, the metallic, and the color of your texture. Try adding more textures on your cube and see how different systems work. In the next video, we'll be going to texturing proper. We'll be creating a simple ceramic material. See you in class.